Welcome to the Coach's Journey. Today, this is Mal. On the show today is our Catalyst coach. He's none other than Darren Ho. Welcome.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you. Always been a pleasure to meet you.
So, Darren, first and foremost, congratulations on achieving your ACC. It's been a great journey. Today, we're going to talk through how you came into coaching and, of course, that wonderful milestone of yours at ACC.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, as we start, let's take us back to the time before coaching. Tell us a little bit about who Darren is.
Well, I've always been very keen into coaching, sharing of thoughts. And ever since during my university days, the younger days, it's always been one of something that I like to do. Okay. Largely also because I like conversations. And because of that, I always thought, hey, I've been sort of like, as I grow older, I advise the younger ones. And I thought, hey, is there a way for me to actually equip myself to be more effective? Or even come to a point in time that, hey, maybe it could be something that I can do because it is really something that I feel the joy and passionate about. And I'm motivated for these little conversations. So hence the thought about, hey, let's take it a bit forward, a step at a time and explore it a bit further. And that's how the whole entire inclination to begin started many years ago.
Wow. And with that, of course, you were in the workforce, right? In the workplace. Tell us about that journey after university. And then, of course, you finding coaching later.
Yeah. I think that's a good question, right? Because I think everyone's journey started off with either your own company or in a corporate life. So for mine, I've started working about 20 over years ago. I've always been in corporate setting, multiple companies, mixture of cultures, environment. And I think, like it or not, coaching is essentially part of the job as well. Because as I grow into my corporate responsibilities, team size was also getting larger. So in a way that I've been indirectly using mentoring, coaching, or even in times counseling, direct reports and stuff. And that is how the work has been. Because of the diverse background that I came from consumer brands into banking, into telecommunication, I realized that at the end of the day, the essence of all these different business industries is all about the people and the little conversations that they want to talk about. And that has always been something good for me as an opening to know the person a bit more, the ability to listen and just pay attention.
I'm curious, Darren, at work, 20 over years, right? Did you feel that you were actually, on hindsight, right, after learning about coaching, doing a bit more of certain of this methodology, like, for example, mentoring, counseling and coaching? What kind of percentages were there in your day-to-day those days?
Well, without a doubt that when you're at work, a lot of mentoring is definitely a high percentage, right? Because you're talking to essentially my own staff that you have to, a bit more pushing the boundary. You should do this, you should do that. And I think along the journey, when I learned and realized that the more I listen first, the more I begin to feel a bit more effective in solving the root of the issue. Rather than telling the person what should do, what he or she need to take care of. And that's where I begin to realize that, hey, I could have been using mentoring or even counseling in some extent for many years without realizing that there's actually a more powerful tool or a more powerful and effective way to solve an issue. And hence coaching come into the picture.
Well done. And I kind of feel like a lot of people out there as well did the same, right? Even myself, when I think back about 20 years ago right now, I realized that actually I was doing a lot of mentoring, like what you just said, right? Which is just a natural way of caring and empowering our people in those days. And then you started your coaching journey. I mean, what made you officially want to take a coaching program?
Well, I think it's all accumulated over the years that I realized that I think I want to take it a step
Okay.
forward. I want to take it a bit more effective, and I want every conversation that I am able to help and provide an insight to the one that I'm talking to. And I realized that I'm sure there must be an avenue for me to learn a little bit more, because every conversations that I manage to create, the aha moment, is a pleasure, and it's always very fulfilling. So ever since then, I decided to check things out, and via searching through online, and more importantly, I spoke to a few friends that I've been hearing, hey, they have attended coaching, and I was lucky to met a few that are able to guide me to the right place, how to do it properly, especially when I realized that this could eventually one day become a passion that I can turn into a job or a role that I can play moving forward into my retirement, or even during my active working years, because it's all relatable. And because of that, I decided to really, really spend the time to check out every school, the methodology, and more importantly, I think having the credentials is important. Many people probably believe that there are coaches everywhere. Many are trained, but may not necessarily certified with the right credentials. So I realized that it's important to be trained, certified properly by the school and the international body. Hence, I took the journey since 2022, in fact.
I remember that. And we were obviously very glad when you joined. It was a great cohort as well.
Yes, it was.
What would be that tipping point for you to choose Catalyst as your place for you to grow in?
Well, as a matter of fact, there were several options, right? I think options coming from crash course, a very long two back-to-back weekends of 70 hours between 6 days. And what actually struck me most was Catalyst was a little bit different. It believes that it needs time to nurture behaviors. It needs time to nurture certain thinking process and reframing of the mind. And it took 7 months on every consistent week for us to go through all the various chapters and sessions and practice to attain the whole course. And I felt that that was something that sort of interests me, because coaching is actually a journey. And I realized that I cannot force it in over a weekend, and over the weekend, I'm totally trained, right? So, and I realized that it's not going to work like that. Hence, I think Catalyst allowed me to grow at my pace within a duration that we all agreed upon. So it was a 7 months journey with a group of people. I think that was the major difference. And I felt this should be the way to pick up coaching as a more consistent and also a more natural way to absorb a new behavior.
Oh, thank you for choosing Catalyst, and we're also very proud to have you as our ambassador, right? And then you took that journey of credentials. You already said how important it is to do that level of professionalism, that level of excellence that you also put in yourself, that practice of 100 hours of coaching minimum. And then, of course, there are a few more hurdles, right? Tell us about that journey of you getting to that credential.
Well, to be absolutely honest, I never thought that it would take so much of an effort. I thought it would be just attend the class and maybe a couple of hours and go for an exam or something like that. But I think the level of professionalism, it really speaks for itself. Training of about more than 75 hours, and each of us has to accumulate more than 100 coaching hours. It's a lot. So it really pushes not just about the hard work, but it's also the ability to present myself. Why should people pay for a service that I could do? And I think it's also boosts the confidence of trying to elevate that this is not a conversation that I would want anyone to take it lightly. It's a time and effort to make a change, to have a paradigm shift. So I believe these 100 hours actually did help me a lot to be much more confident and much more steady in the way I carry the conversations, as well as also going through the exam. Yeah, happy to say that this whole ACC journey has been rewarding in some extent, but it's also very, one word, just a hard work and consistency and staying true to the course.
Yeah. Well done. I would like to say, for all the hard work, right? It's not a walk in the park. And I think with that, it is so important, as you rightly said, right? If someone were to choose to work with us and found out that we didn't really go through much rigor, I think you and I will be like, second guessing, right? Whether they are of a
Correct.
certain quality vis-a-vis what we pay for that service, right? So
Agreed.
it's all about that professionalism. It's all about that level that you put yourself first through before we can say we are ready. So well done again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, Darren, now achieving it, now crossing that milestone, and now as you look forward, what are you excited about in this journey ahead?
Well, it's really the feeling of you have earned the right to hold a sword, right? It's like you're going through a journey, right? So you got a weapon now, or you sort of a certain acquired skill set.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to ask, right? So what's next? And I believe, as I mentioned earlier on, given this is a journey, it's a lifelong journey. I enjoy every steps of the way, and certainly I wouldn't want to just be as usual, but I want to take it forward.
Yeah.
I always assume and start to think that ACC is like acquiring a degree, a graduate program. Then PCC will probably be the master's program, and MCC, like you, is like the PhD of the whole coaching scene. So, and I think that is a journey that I'm looking forward to, given myself some time. And most important, I don't want to rush into it. And if I can take this forward a step at a time. But more importantly, I needed to practice. I needed to take on more coaching sessions and perhaps clients that I can actually be of help, because it's all about consistently stay through the course. And I'm doing this on top of my day job. So I'm trying to make sure that there is a sufficient time that I spend with coaching without the feeling of I have to do it because I have to do it. It's about doing it because I like to do it.
Yeah.
So keeping that fire, keeping the passion, I think is important. And that is how I intend to take it forward. Hopefully one day that I can really do it as full time and able to make a difference, not just purely because of financial, but I think it's really about what I call it enlightens the heart. It feels good to be able to create the aha moment in every conversations that we do. I think that for me is priceless.
Certainly is priceless, Darren. The little I know about you, and we've interacted, I know that you really are serious in working with people, working with empowering the best out of people, right, in the workplace. And so I can only see that you continuously do that and even more in the workplace, that you bring now this skill set that is a part of you. It's not just something you just studied, but it's an everyday thing. As you continue to practice it and use your sword, as you said, now you've got that sword, you will definitely grow and, of course, impact more and more people out there. It's exciting ahead.
I absolutely agree with you. In fact, I realized that my conversations are also somewhat different in a workplace. I realized that I tend to listen, a bit more active listening and a bit more attentive. Not judgmental, even with my own direct reports or my team, where often I would jump in before they could finish the line, because it's always about very impatient. I realized that the journey has helped me to be much more patient, much more controlled, much more trying to find out rather than trying to push into the conversation. And I think that's also powerful at my workplace. Not just talking about coaching someone, but it became a everyday skill set or everyday tool that I'm harnessing the impact. And I'm happy that I'm able to do that now.
So good, Darren, to hear all of that. Let's talk about the people just stepping in, right? Like yourself a couple of years ago. What would be your little advice for them?
Well, I think everything starts with a spark. And I think anyone who ever felt that there's a little bit of a spark, a little bit of a passion, a little bit of the urge to wanting to improve the way we communicate, able to make a bit of an impact in the conversation, and more importantly, has a heart to develop people or has a heart to have genuine conversations and are willing to help. I think those are very good signs that they can become a good coach. And I always believe that being a coach, the motive is very important. As much as everyone is busy and everyone has a job, everyone has a life to live, it has to come from genuine motivation that I want to learn because I want to improve, I want to make an impact. And because of that, then I think the journey can be sustained. It's not about the dollar and cents alone because those will not last. It has to be from inside out. And I believe everyone who has that thinking or that urge to take it forward, coaching will be a good avenue. And again, being in Catalyst, I think makes a bigger difference because the journey is not about a crash course, but a journey that has to be taken by consistency, by being present, by being on time every week. And that actually makes a difference versus all the other schools that I personally felt that I think Catalyst stood out as a clear option.
Thank you.
If you're taking this as a long-term commitment.
Thank you, Darren. It's so encouraging to hear all of this, especially about you and your amazing journey that you have taken yourself. So you're speaking obviously from your experience and how this has impacted you and your life. Thank you for being on this episode, Darren.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing me on board and be part of the community, be part of the coaching friends that I cherish now. And thanks for being there.
You're most welcome. This is the Coach's Journey today with Darren Ho on this episode. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.